Okay, so the problem I had with this beginning one was when you dived and you were strafing at the same time, or moving in a direction, he would ping into that direction. So you can see there, he jumps, and then ping, jump, ping. There was no transition from his crawling. So I went back and tried to fix that. So now he doesn't just ping into that direction, he kind of does a little bounce sort of thing into it. I'm quite happy with that. I prefer that than just pinging into it. Okay, for this one, it was just the animation really. In Blender it looked okay, but then when it brought it in, it didn't look right. And basically what it is just it overcorrecting when he's jumping up. So depending on his direction, when he jumps, he would overshoot a little bit and come back. But then I just got rid of it, and it just looks a bit better. I think anyway. Okay, so in the past, when you jumped, that's what he would do. Just land flat again. But I've now made it so that when you jump, he lands back on his feet. You still have the option to land flat if you hold the jump. A problem I've got though is, other than the fact he goes inside objects, if he lands too early, he kind of just pings into it. But it did, I don't know. For now, it's not something I have to worry about. It's something I've got to keep in mind for later. So for this next one, I tried to improve the sprinting. In the old one, it was just basically the normal run but sped up. But I've gone back in and actually changed the animation itself for the sprinting. And that's in all 8 directions as well. So I've got a front and a back in all directions. I just liked doing the comparison between the two. I had an issue with my sprinting for a little bit, and it's when it's tweening between the front and the back when it's running. As a keyboard player, you probably would never notice it, but if you play with a controller, if you get that specific direction, you would get that particular running, and that's not what I wanted. And it was a case of going back into Blender, making sure the feet were all facing the same way, but then I alternate it for the back ones. And then when I re-import it and get past the autosave, it lets me, it fixes it. So that would have been the same in the other direction as well. That was, yeah, quick and easy fix. It wasn't quick, but it was it was easy fix. I went back after my sprint and tried to improve my normal running, but there was not much to really change. I just wanted the back to stop folding so far backwards, because it's similar, or pretty much the same as what the sprinting one is now, so I didn't think that looked quite right. So I just went back in, brought his back up a little bit. I tried to show it here, so when I re-imported it and then brought it back, there's not really that much difference to notice, but I like to think it made a difference. I created a stop and start for his running and walking and sprinting, but I found it was always going to the extreme, so that's why I've got an old and a new. So the old one was always going to the extreme, so then I made it so that depending on how long the person's moving for, it will adjust it to make it look better. And also while I was looking at the animations for the stop and start, I noticed I made a mistake, so I had to go back and fix it. I also created a sprint start, just to make it look a bit more lively. So in the past, when you press the sprint button, he would just naturally go slightly faster, but now when you press it, it goes into a movement, makes it feel more energetic and active. Yes, I had to have some fun with that. I quite like looking at it now. It just brings it more to life. It just brings something new to it. So turn in place. I did make a start on it in the beginning, but I didn't finish it off properly. So I had some old code just sitting there waiting, which I managed to go back to and finish off. Initially in that video there, I just did the legs just to make sure everything was working. This one here, I've updated the arms to make it look a little bit better. So I don't know how I managed to do it, but it looks like a happy accident. But depending on how far you turn, it tries to achieve it in one turn, which I'm trying to demonstrate here. So it doesn't matter which direction you go, it will try. Here's my turn in place code. Not code, I keep saying code. Here's my turn in place blueprint. And then this was it's kind of the finished product at the moment, which I'll probably go back to and improve if I can. But for now, I'm quite happy with it. I was going left and right quickly just to like stress test it, just to see if it comes up with any issues. The only issue I do know of is if you turn almost like 180, it doesn't like it. So I've got to try and find a way to stop the player from doing that. If you're on a controller, I think you'll be fine. Obviously the aim is still in progress, but it still works with the legs. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that one. Oh, something I didn't mention though. So all of this turn in place and everything took me about a couple of days to do, because I had to create the animations for it as well. But I haven't finished with the turn in place yet because I've still got to do his crouching. In his prone, doesn't matter because I've already got a spinning around thingy for that, but still needs to do his crouch. That's clearly broken. Something else to fix. I know why he's done that. Keeping on the theme of broken things, my turn in place, which I was so happy with, whenever I went right, it would overcorrect. Just like that. And it was due to a tick box, enable root motion. At the time I didn't know that was the issue because it was just going crazy all over the place, but yeah, that's why I started to move around very slowly just to see what was going on. So this was the idle to turn. So it's the same with the turn in place. It doesn't matter which direction you are looking in, it will achieve it in one movement. Again, which I quite liked. And it works for most directions. Which was quite a little fun little addition, I thought. I was tempted to get rid of the turn in place and just keep this one. An issue I know of using it is if you press up or any direction really quickly, it'll give you that it moves too quick kind of effect. For the animation side of it, I feel like I haven't actually shown myself modeling or animating anything for a while, so when the movements, it doesn't go diagonally nicely. So I was hoping to get away with it. I was hoping it would let me tween between the two directions. It works for the forward ones, forward diagonals, but not the backwards, so I had to go in and specifically make them myself. And I made sure to record myself this time, just as I've done something. Yeah, it was 36 minutes, all compacted into, was it 1 minute there? When I imported the diagonal, I was having issues. When I mirrored, so it works for the normal, the left foot, but then when I mirrored it to the right foot, I forgot to change the direction. So normally when you mirror it, your left turns to right, but I had two directions in this case, so his foot changed, but then also the direction he was going in also changed. So I changed his foot, but I didn't change his direction. So I just went back and sorted that. And then this is the after all the turn in place and the idle to turning. I've put them both together, and it was just comparing like, what it used to look like, where he would slide around. No matter which direction you turn in your direction, and he would just slide along with it. But now he kind of has that. He pauses for a moment before starting to turn, or if you decide to start moving off before he's turned, he will turn into it as well. But yeah, it was quite good. I think I said before, it took me a couple of days just to get everything all sorted, animations and everything. So I'm quite happy with myself this time around because I managed to keep notes on what I was doing. I kept up to date with it all, and I was updating my videos, editing software as and when, in the hopes that I wouldn't forget what I was doing. But yeah, it's just a quick rundown if anyone wished to read it. For my next video, because I feel like I need to bank it, I'm going to focus on the crouching, turn in place, turn moving, because I'm already on it, so I might as well finish it off while it's still in my head, and then probably move on to jumping. Unreal Engine 5.4 recently released or announced. I'm currently using 5.2.1. I don't really want to update just in case it ruins everything I've got going on so far. But the main thing that caught my eye was their new way of doing animations was motion matching. So it's about predicting your movements and filling in the space. Unreal Engine will select from a wide library of animations and decide to add in the right one at the right time, which is fine. But I just at the time when I was looking at it, I don't think motion matching was a thing. I knew of it because people were using it, but I thought it was an add-on you had to buy within the marketplace, so I never pursued it or carried on trying to look into it. I went with state machines instead. And a lot of people, when they talk about state machines, they talk about how it can get extremely complicated extremely quickly. If you look at mine, I've made it complicated. One thing for me though is, how did he change the colour of those little circles? Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hopefully got more to come.